order the October 21st, 2025 Capital Region Land Bank. We're here in the city of Amsterdam. We had our finance committee meeting at 4 o'clock. Can I get an approval of the minutes from the September 16th meeting?
Move is written.
Thank you. Second,
Second.
favor? Those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Minutes are moved into the record. Mr. Berlant, a treasurer's report.
We have money,
Always do.
thankfully. As you can see that at the end of September, we have just under $2 million in our various accounts. And we've produced about, so I'm going to look at my figures here, about 4,500 in interest revenue for the month of September, and we're somewhere close to $43,000 for the year in interest that
That's
we earn on our accounts. I see nothing else that's of any significance. We didn't really have much expenses for the last month. We've done some.
Oh, it's remarkable.
We're well within range, as you can see from the capital funding reports that we've got as to what we have spent and when we have to have the things spent by.
What's remarkable to me is that we have done a tremendous amount of work in 2025, and yet our numbers are, more stable and significant than I've seen, ever. A lot of that has to do with money management, right? Money market management, being smart about moving the reserves around to get interest. The other is, being able to pull fees through on projects. So great job to leadership and staff at making us financially solvent and stable going into the new year.
Yeah, it's stable on that aspect and also stable on spending money grants that we have. So the state, our grantors are very happy that they're seeing products. So I will move the finance report if there's no questions.
Thank you. And a second,
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Aye. Okay, very good. Executive director's report. Just before we get started, I just a couple 2 cents, which is, Congress Street. I feel like we weren't. That was in between these two meetings, right? The ribbon cutting.
Yes.
So just a tremendous outpouring of support. Senior folks from HCR, our manufactured home representatives, members from the board, members from the community, members from leadership at all levels were there for what I think was a significant ribbon cutting, one of two in the state, which was the first two cross mods, part of the governor's plan to execute on affordable housing and bring an affordable housing solution to bear, rather, right? This isn't about how much this is about trying to bring a quality product to bear in which folks can get out of school, raise a family, move into a home, and start to build equity. So we're very proud. And I want to thank you, Kristen, as our executive director, for getting the work done that we needed to get done to become a registered dealer and to get all the application work done. So outstanding work at putting us at the forefront of that vanguard of that opportunity, in which we believe there's a substantial amount of lift for our communities, both here in the city of Amsterdam and in Schenectady and in Schenectady County. So great job there. And just 2 cents. I think we have a demo starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, so Cocoa House we had an extra property for them on Steuben Street. And that has been a little long in coming, but we finally got the demolition crew there, and that's going to open up it's going to open up capacity for them to kind of continue with their programming. And I think the Cocoa House does an amazing job at what they do in our community. So I'm glad to hear that we're finally moving there.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. So
okay.
by this time next year, there will be a great play space for the young people in that neighborhood, in place of where a not so nice house is today.
Yeah, an unsafe, not so nice house. So with that, I thank you for the ad hoc comments. Executive Director's report, Kristen.
We had one add-on comment, not our fault. the rural group got a lot more publicity from the TV networks than we did. We were the tail end. Oh, and it also was, we also had one in Schenectady, is what I heard in the evening after that.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Rural group.
For the, wherever the North Country modular housing
Oh,
project
okay.
was the one that everybody, was that the news really picked up on because it was a rural area, not seeing this type of thing before.
And well
I don't
deserved.
have any objection to it, but I'm just commenting that we didn't get as much good publicity as we should have out of that.
Let me frame that differently. We're all in this together, so I think it's great that director came down and stood on the podium and said, you guys are going to change our community with a product and the ability to deliver this type of housing in a rural area where we don't get a lot of looks. So I'm happy that they got more publicized. We got plenty, and let's lift the entire community. So, but thank you. I think it was great that they were there.
Yeah, I think it was too. Just simply a comment that I had after the event.
All right. So, continuing to move along with our
Thank
summer 2025 demo project. So our Dwaynesburg Road project in partnership with the town of Rotterdam is complete. 723 Congress Street in Schenectady, which will become a new single-family home there, managed by Better Community Neighborhoods. So that demolition is complete. As our chairman so eloquently put, a long time coming, 28 Steuben Street will come down. They're mobilizing tomorrow. That's going to be about a 4 or 5 day demolition. And then 354 Edison, which has been another difficult property in the city, will come down after that. The balance to finish is 866 Albany Street, 201 Duane Ave, and 561 Congress, in that order. And so we're just trying to queue those up so that we can keep momentum going on that project. On our grants, we're going to talk more about these as we get into resolutions, but we are preparing for an application to the Land Bank Initiative's Property Service, RFA. And so as a reminder, we'll be applying for $2 million to do our normal sort of rehab, acquisition, demo, pre-development, but then also adding in some owner-occupied repair for families making up to 120% AMI. Small rental repair, and other kind of repair and rehab services. And we'll continue to work with our partners at BCNI and Habitat to support some of their projects as well. With the success of the CrossMod pilot program, there was an announcement in Schenectady, very exciting, of a $50 million expansion called Move in New York. We have been steadily preparing for that application. We've identified sites that can accommodate up to 23 homes, 13 in Schenectady and 10 in Amsterdam. And so we are working with our grant writer on putting that application together. Those open on the 15th of November and will be open until January or when allocated. And I think, being already licensed, having the experience of doing this and the enthusiasm from our municipal partners, we're very well positioned to be successful. Quick project update, Summit Ave. They have offers on all 6 of their phase 1 homes. There are a couple of offers on their phase 2 builds. There was a holdup. I don't know if anybody saw. A burial ground was disturbed while they were digging on Westover. So HCR has reviewed the environmentals on that and given them permission to proceed on all lots except for that one on Westover. So I think they're still going to be able to move forward and keep their schedule of delivery of their modular homes, which is great news. Habitat in Schenectady is working on excavation on Landon to address some drainage issues. And then that will be followed by a subdivision and sale to 4 neighbors. And then 3 single-family homes. The delivery of those single-family homes is supposed to happen in the beginning of November. And then they're working on digging foundations on Landon Terrace for 2 homes there. We're going to have a punch list walkthrough with the builder on the CrossMod next week. And then once the gas meter is installed and inspected, we'll have our C of O on the CrossMod. This will also be discussed later, but we have lined up a buyer, and so we'll be reviewing that and approving, hopefully, the acceptance of that offer. And then Legacy City Project in Amsterdam, they received C of O on 5 more properties. 2 are sold, 5 are under contract, and there are 2 available, each with 2 potential buyers being vetted, so they're moving forward. Another very exciting milestone, the roof at the Bethel Northside Community Center is complete.
Hey, all right. Fantastic.
And if we want to take a quick peek at the grants update, we did start our next round of land bank operations, or as we've been calling it, admin funds. And so we have a new contract, which will take us through the end of August next year. And we're, well on our way to spending down our first quarterly allocation of $50,000. For our land bank initiative phase 2, our project funds, we are about 97% expended. The complete balance of that will be spent on our summer 25 demo that I just reviewed. And then our land bank capital projects funding, we're just under 50% expended there. And there's a list of projects there and earmarks and remaining balances on those for your review.
Fantastic.
And that's my report.
I just wanted to add, that $50 million announcement for Move-In Schenectady, or Move-In New York program. Again, it's momentum. The North Country, Central New York, all communities benefit from this. And the fact that we took the time to be successful with the first cross mod, to become a dealer and do all those activities, really sets us up to be able to be successful on the 13 sites in Schenectady and the 10 more in Amsterdam. I just went and briefly talked to the mayor about, how this I thought was an important aspect of continued development in Amsterdam. So great project. Thanks again. I know that it was kind of foreign to us, right, a year ago. And you really brought us a long way. I think it's great. Great project, great product. It's going to make a difference in our communities. So. And then the property services piece where, we've got the ability to support small projects, homeowners, rental. I mean, that's about neighborhood vitality and in improving, the broken windows, removing the broken windows exposure, right? And so I think that's a great program as well. So thanks for putting our best foot forward there and helping us to secure as many funds as we can.
I have one other very exciting announcement that I missed, which is that our Habitat for Humanity Montgomery partners have identified a buyer for their home as well.
That's
So they've made great progress on construction. So I just want to make sure we give them a little shout out for their progress.
We have some before and after pictures of the AIK legacy project that I think are worthy of board members' review. Take a look when you get a chance. The before and afters are pretty significant, showing pretty significant investments in each one of these properties and what they mean for the city of Amsterdam. It's a great project. Nick, we appreciate all the work that you put into that personally to make that successful. Okay.
Yeah, about the skeleton town. This is not the first time that we've had that. Okay, I can remember when I came to Schenectady, and I can't remember whether it was just before or just after I came, that they were doing some excavation and they discovered one of the Native American burial grounds up there. And apparently there's not been a great deal of research to find out where they are. And what we're doing is finding them for the historians. But it's the type of thing that we can expect as long as there's development up in the Hamilton Hill area, that there's going to be more.
Well, I think no matter where.
And there's a set procedure that it happens. It simply is going to be a delay in a project where they actually find one until because they then have to take care of, make bodies that were buried and move them into a proper location. And that just takes some time to do.
Sure. Respectful of movement.
We're doing the proper things for it, and it's just going to cause a delay. But it's probably over the past 30 years, 40 years. This is the second time that something has been found when we've been doing work.
Okay. Pretty good record.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay.
it's something, we at least know that there were some burial grounds, Native American and colonial, that were in that area. And there was never any proper work done to make certain that those sites were clearly marked and identified.
Oh, 300 or 400 years ago, maybe
That's
that's,
right.
you know.
Or longer.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have 5 items for board consideration tonight. First one is, Kristen had already mentioned, we have the opportunity to sell 821 Congress Street, which is resolution 2025-22. That is our cross mod. Kristen, can you summarize?
Sure. So we have been working with a realtor from Berkshire Hathaway, as well as our housing counseling partners at Better Community Neighborhoods. We've had quite a bit of interest in the cross mod. And we did receive a full price offer for $215,000 from a family that is currently renting on Delamont in Schenectady. So residents of the neighborhood who now will have an opportunity to own their own home. And so this is just a resolution approving the sale. This is the price we anticipated, and it does meet all of the guidelines of the funding requirements.
I do want to note that inside the packet is a copy of the mortgage note. It's an FHA loan, it's first time home buyer, you know, it's a really low down payment. This is a significant, boost and benefit to the community to be able to buy a home like this.
And they'll be able to take advantage of the city down payment assistance program as well.
Great. So getting folks to build equity, have their own home, raise a family, continue a family, whatever the case may be. So proud of what this project represents. Not only from a land bank perspective, but from a community.
I think it's a compliment to our work with demolitions, our work with affordable rental units, and now the shift towards home ownership, I think, is really significant.
Yeah.
And that last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, a maturity in our evolution, in our arc, right? Yeah, I think that's fantastic. So,
And the number of neighborhood residents who came out when we did the groundbreaking and were so pleased to be able to see what had been done.
an investment.
So
The house next door has been re-sided already.
that's the advantage, putting up good new housing. People start to look at their own and say,
That's right.
I'll fix it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, any questions or additional comments on resolution 2025-22?
Move the resolution.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-23 is a project in Delancey. We've been working on this one for a while. This was leave behind from storm damage, right? Finally demoed or no, fire.
This was with fire damage.
Kristen, can you summarize a little bit for us?
I can. So this was a home that we assisted the town of Delanson in taking down. It had, as we said, stood there fire damaged for a considerable amount of time right on the main street. And so it is a non-conforming, non-buildable lot. It did have an uncleared tax bill at the time that we acquired it. And so the county did go through the foreclosure process, and it was being prepared for auction. However, we had spoken with the neighbors and the mayor had spoken with the neighbors, and there was a desire to not see a Main Street property get scooped up by someone who thought they could do something there and then, end up a night. Where it's every so often we're calling the owner to say, hey, could you take your weed trees down? And so the neighbor in the adjoining parcel expressed an interest in the property. They made us an offer, in line with the assessed value of the home. We would like to, this proposes accepting that offer and offering them a credit of up to $1,500 to complete some repair to the shared driveway and the sidewalk, which were damaged by equipment during the demolition. And so for expediency and probably pricing, I think it makes more sense to have the new owner complete that work and have us offer a credit on the sales price. So that is what this resolution reflects.
Makes sense to me as well. It puts the property in the hands of someone who will ostensibly care for it. Unlike, as you said, somebody thinking, I'll grab something cheap. Maybe I can build something and then having to wait, 3.5, maybe 4 years for a foreclosure event again, right? So,
That has been a long burden for them.
yeah,
Back
Yeah.
and forth, back
so we're
and
gonna
forth.
solve it with your approval tonight. Motion,
Motion.
second.
Second,
All those in favor indicate by saying aye, those opposed nay.
Aye.
The motion is approved. Thank you, carried. Okay, next item is 2025-24. This is, as we spoke of briefly, our desire to submit an RFA to Housing and Community Renewal for our third round of land bank grants. Kristen, you want to give us a little quick outline on the $2 million package that we're going after?
Yes, absolutely. So I just want to draw your attention to the kind of proposed budget and just make clear that these are considered projects. These are not currently approved projects, but this is kind of how we're demonstrating this need for a $2 million allocation to the Capital Region Land Bank. So these are projects that we know are in the pipeline, in development, that meet our goals and needs, and the goals and needs of the fund. So we would make an application for $2 million to Land Bank Property Services, and of that, we'd be looking at I have it broken out by Schenectady and Amsterdam allocation. So looking at pre-development and acquisition in Schenectady of about $52,000, and then building, rehab, and development, we have 3 projects lined up there. Demolition projects, doing some improvements in Hamilton Hill to complement some of the existing projects that work on Summit Avenue, some of the properties that we have identified as being appropriate for the cross-mod expansion. And then the new programs would be a moderate income owner-occupied repair and a rental repair program, and we would run those both in Schenectady and Amsterdam. And we would look at working with our housing partners that already have the mechanisms for, doing applicant intake and developing scope of work and checking in and making sure that work is done according to procedure. And so that was the allocation that we saw in the budget of, for a rehab specialist. And now here is those program funds to actually do those repairs. This allows us to take current programs that are working, that are very popular, and expand them to homeowners making up to 120% of the area median income, and to expand the available rental repair funds to a more open, range of property owners. So larger buildings or more scattered site buildings, some of the things that aren't served by current programs.
That's great. When we talk about using our existing partners for applicant intake and scope management and award, that's a BCNI, that's a Habitat, that's a
All of the above, I think.
Orion. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Using truly our strategic partners that we've already developed and then having them implement. And so those dollars, $250 for mod owner occupied repair and or rental repair, those are combined dollars. We've allocated them for mod owner occupied repair and or rental repair. Those are combined dollars. We've allocated them, but it's for both Amsterdam, City of Schenectady. It doesn't matter. First come, first serve. Proper applicant, proper award.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So that's a good thing. I'm sure that with the proper execution and administration, our neighborhoods can benefit from a siding or a whatever as we continue to improve going down the corridor or going down the street in a given neighborhood.
Yeah. So how I see coming at this is, we'd like to work with the City of Schenectady Homes program, looking at the properties that they have for sale and, doing sort of a conditional qualification of a property and a project and saying, if a buyer wants to meet these criteria, there are these funds available. And we've already come up with a scope of work for the project, and we know what it's going to cost and how to get someone over the finish line, so that we're ensuring when the city is selling a property that the project comes to a successful completion.
Yeah.
We also want to work with Habitat. They do a ramp up program to help people age in place and have accessibility. Many times they're discovering needed repairs and they have no funds to address those. So this is a way that we can then offer them a pipeline. And Better Community Neighborhoods has the type of staff and the mechanisms to do the intake, to income qualify people, to know if the scope of work makes sense, and then to evaluate if the project was done successfully and all, within compliance.
Okay.
Just an observation, Chair. When I looked at this, I said, wow, we are not only helping to maintain numerous numbers of people and improvement in the neighborhood, but facilitating almost 40 families into home ownership.
With the cross mod, the additional AIK activities.
I was just even looking at with this grant funds.
Right,
It's pretty
40
significant.
families.
Yeah.
Significant. We should probably do a tally going back to inception
Yeah,
and see how many.
yeah, and maybe
individuals.
across the grant.
Yeah,
program.
I'd like to
Mhm.
see that number. That'd be interesting.
Well, you're also, the Edward Street Senior Housing is 60 units of affordable senior.
Mhm.
So, I mean, the numbers go way up if you add that in.
Yeah.
They do. So I believe that they are looking at additional HCR sources that will probably fund a much more significant portion of the project. So
Yeah.
those will not be counted in towards our deliverable goals, but absolutely this is still supporting an additional 60
But
units
it's about
of housing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We've leveled up our $10 or $15 million lifetime and turned it into $150+ million
Right.
of community impact. So 10x, I've said it before, 10x is significant. That's such a multiplier. So great to point that out, Nick, because there's 60 units behind this engagement here that aren't even counted on our paper, but they sure are counted in the real world. So that's just fantastic. This program can't help us with market rate development or anything like that, right? Do we have any dollars that are coming that we can access? I'm thinking about Amsterdam, looking at some additional development. I've said all along, I'd like to see more traction for the city of Amsterdam. They've got a tremendous amount of momentum. I want to lean into their success. They've obviously outlined some things, and this can be impactful, like 60 units of senior housing. But other programs that we can do to help support their either market rate development or any other developments that might be?
Even
Community
under these land bank property services, our rehab and construction funds are not as strictly limited as they are in some of the other HCR programs that are like a direct subsidy per unit at a specific AMI.
Mhm.
We don't have those kind of strict guidelines, but they are looking for, what is the need and why is the land bank, funding the
Mhm.
appropriate way to get there. And so they're kind of just asking that it be defensible within the context of the communities that we're serving. And that's one of the great things about the land bank funding is it has been left intentionally flexible so that we can really meet these needs in creative ways. So there is that, built into this. Again, that's a list of prospective projects that we know are in development. Doesn't mean that something else couldn't come to fruition and be ready, shovel ready and need our funds. And I think we would answer that call because it would just allow us to then go after the next potential, round of funds and be
Okay.
prepared.
So Nick, does that give you some leeway to kind of navigate? Again, I know the mayor's been
I think
very
so.
interested about doing some development in the city of Amsterdam that without some of those constraints may generate significant neighborhood investment well beyond whatever our couple $100,000 or seed dollars are, so to speak.
And what we have is on the upper east side of Amsterdam, we have a whole single-family residential subdivision that's proposed. And the mayor is very gung-ho about this project.
Mhm.
So we're looking at ways that we can assist that. They have substantial infrastructure development costs. The site has no infrastructure at all at the present time.
Yeah, it's how we get there. That's one thing that the mayor did re-ask for is to see if we can get out of the box a little bit and consider infrastructure costs.
Yeah.
That's not, I don't think that's where we can go. We can't go there.
We can't dig the dirt, we can't put the utility in, but we can help with.
Allocate the construction phase
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Particularly if it's a
But in order for
set-aside.
that to happen, the infrastructure has to be in place.
My thinking was that we would have a set aside of semi-affordable housing units to justify government funding. And money is money if you're underwriting the cost of the project.
Can we explore this as a working session?
Yeah,
Outside the board, I mean, I just bring it to the attention of, again, I'm leaning in, I want us to lean into City of Amsterdam, continued success. I want to lean into City of Schenectady and County of Schenectady as well, but, City of Amsterdam is at a great inflection point. They're making investments every day in your waterfront, in your downtown, and I want to help. I want the way I make to help as much as possible.
No, none of these allocations that we have on the 2 million is cut in stone.
They are not
Not-
allocations, matter of fact.
Well,
they
I
are
look-
sort
when
of,
We see allocations,
potential, yeah.
and these are, yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
they're sort of
Projected.
considered projects.
Yeah.
When we were coming up with how do we, we can only apply for 2 million. We could spend so much more than that trying to address all the
Obviously.
housing needs. So it's like, what do we know
Yeah.
is getting queued up and ready to go in the, this is going to be an 18-month contract at most.
Mhm.
So some of those bigger, longer range projects, it doesn't mean that we couldn't support them in another way in future rounds or with technical assistance or pre-development money now. But these are just sort of, this was how we justified how we were
Our
kind of
guidelines.
planning.
Sounds like you were showing your readiness.
Yes.
Which is really a strength in a grant application.
It's what we've done in the past. We've done things that we know we will be able to do within the lifetime. That doesn't mean that if something comes along that needs some initial push, that we can't add that to this. But we've essentially said to the state, you give us $2 million, in the 18 months, we will spend that $2 million on these types of projects.
Yeah.
And
And I
that's
think-
what we've done every time.
Good,
And
yeah,
that's not missed the money.
our track record speaks for itself. It's right here.
Yeah.
So,
In answer to your comment, I'm noticing in the memo that Kristen gave us, normally when you talk low mod, you talk about something 80% of median income or below.
Yeah.
And she's noted in here, this is 120.
that's why I
So
asked the question.
That's 50%
Yeah.
above it's not usual that you get that type of money.
Completely agree, Joe. And that's why I asked the
Yeah.
clarifying questions. I think a working session, maybe with City of Amsterdam folks, with anybody, but maybe we can be helpful there. And I'm excited about this, what this means. And again, I just want to reiterate for the record, 60 units of senior, 40 families on this round alone, and the ability to make repairs on existing. Never before have we gotten there. So it's a great evolution in the art of land banking. This is about all of our successes, not just Capital Region Land Bank. I know that we've been out front with a lot of success, and we're proud of what we've done. So, but this is great that they're continuing to support neighborhood revitalization. Okay, I probably didn't ask for a vote yet, right?
Right.
2025-24. A motion to approve, please.
So moved.
And a second.
Second,
And all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Aye. Motion is recorded. Moved. 2025-25. This is our Move in New York plan. Kristen?
Yes, so this resolution, as I mentioned, with the success of the CrossMod pilot project, there was great excitement from the City of Schenectady, City of Amsterdam, our partners, Better Community Neighborhoods, to really try and leverage this manufactured CrossMod product to address some of our vacant sites and do some infill development. And so what we've come up with, I think, is a really great list of properties. They've all been, kind of vetted against what we learned in the first round to try to pick the sites that are best suited to this type of home product, both in its construction, its delivery, how it fits with the existing neighborhood. And also, I think what it does is builds upon and creates momentum around other projects that either we have, had a helping hand in completing or that are being completed. And it infills some places where we've completed demos in the past. And so how this will work is basically a revolving, non-amortizing loan that becomes partially forgivable. So we would get funds for the first house, we buy it, we site it, but we have a commitment of X number of houses that we can then go to the builder and sort of say, now we have buying power, give us a great price on these. And then we'll get the funds for the first house, buy it, build it, sell it. return a portion of those proceeds to HCR to get revolved back into our next project. And we would retain a 6% developer fee, which allows us to fill the funnel for other projects that we want to complete. And specifically in the city of Amsterdam, I think this is going to be a great way to add some funds that we have a lot of discretion over to work with the city staff and figure out what are the priorities and how can we best leverage these really unrestricted funds to do the best and most impactful work. So this is a pretty exciting project. And I think, like I said, based on our experience, the fact that we're already licensed, I think we are really well positioned. And I can't underscore enough how easy the city of Schenectady made it to get this project done. The level of coordination, cooperation from the development department, the building department, the council and the property disposition committee, that really made an impression. We did not have permitting holdups. We did not have issues with zoning and closing, and none of those things became a problem because we worked in tandem and everybody saw this as a real opportunity to kick the tires on something that we hadn't tried before. And so I just wanted to say that out loud, that we are very uniquely positioned to be successful here because we have demonstrated a level of coordination that is not easy to achieve. And so, I'm just very grateful.
That's a great call, Alex. Thank you for all the coordination. I know that you leaned in and helped us with too.
Can't do it without a team.
It's all about team. This is $6,000 to $12,000 of development fee coming to the land bank every time we sell one of these or facilitate the closure on one of these. And as you just said, dropping them into where we've done previous demos, unused, underutilized land, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, air conditioned with a garage, 215, 240, 170, 180 in Amsterdam. Impossible. Amazing, rather, not impossible.
Not impossible because we did.
Clearly not impossible. Just an outstanding opportunity to have families benefit from this kind of lean-in by our governor, the HCR, and all of our municipal leaders. So thank you, Alex, again, for your help, and Kristen, thanks. You push this across the finish line. You make this happen. So outstanding job.
And note that this goes along with what you said prior, because the funds that we are getting afterwards on this are unrestricted, so that we do not have to, if we have a project that is a higher income, we've got some of the funds to be able to put into that.
Love it. Love it. Let's go. Let's do more. You got a page with 13 and 10 or so, right? 13 and 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yeah, 14 or 15, and 2, 4, 6 in Amsterdam so far?
Yes, and some of those lots can accommodate multiple, they could be subdivided to accommodate multiple structures.
Great. Questions? A motion?
Motion.
Thank
Second.
you. Thank you. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Aye. Motion is approved. Thank you. Okay. 2 more items. Resolution 2025-26, which is our fiscal 2026 budget. Finance Committee, as I stated at the beginning of the meeting, when I called to order, met earlier. I assume the Finance Committee navigated any questions on 2026 budget?
We discussed some of the changes in the income that was there. The one item that we suggested that we added on to the budget is a note on the budget, because it is assuming that we are going to get grants, and that may not become effective until January or February or March of next year. But so you see some of the increases that are in there. That is making the assumption that we will have that grant mid-year.
So a footnote to clarify.
Early in the year, I should say, in the quarter, to be able to go through. And if we have to make adjustments, whatever grant money that we get, we can make those adjustments. But we're making positive because of our experience that we've had in the past, that we think we will get what we were asking for, and that here's the way that we're going to be spending that. So if anybody has any questions on the budget itself, if not, on behalf of the Budget Committee, which at this point is Kathy and myself, which couldn't be here, we'll move the budget.
Great. And a second?
Second,
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
aye.
Those opposed, nay. Aye, the budget and the resolution is moved. Excellent job, Finance Committee. Thank you so much for expediting that process. We have one item for new business. I'm gonna have a hard stop, and I apologize. I have to be in Albany at 6. So, new business. We talked, I think in between our last meeting, authority to the executive director to execute time-sensitive contracts. And this really kind of came out of the cross-month conversation. We may, from time to time, find ourselves certainly with these cross months where there might be an opportunity to accept an offer. I think we can probably position this to where, we have an effective voice. But to wait till the next board meeting, I think might be lacking in in our sensitivity to time-sensitive nature of these contracts. We don't want to delay that process. So we've talked about giving the authority to the executive director to accept a contract with ratification or approval by the board at the next meeting, correct?
Yes. So Mr. Berlant did correctly point out, though, and I think we need our governance committee to meet anyway,
Okay,
that it may be appropriate to have this discussion at the governance committee level and then have that committee make a recommendation to this board. So not that there couldn't be some discussion here, but if everyone felt comfortable, that was, I thought, a great recommendation.
yeah, okay. I concur. I'm sorry I put so much language out there on the table.
Sorry.
No, I mean, I think,
Shut up, Mr. Chair.
no, I think that you're right. We were talking about the history of it. This is a good opportunity for the governance committee to set up a policy that the board can then adapt.
Sure.
That's worthwhile.
That makes
That's why I
perfect sense.
Discussed it with Kristen before the meeting.
Okay, yeah, 100%.
And I would have said, if we want to, since it's not any motion on here, there's no way to be able to do a motion, but to say, we want this. The
Yeah.
governance committee tell us how the best way to do it.
Good, is that good? Anybody, other comments? It makes a lot of sense to me. And we want to empower, make sure that we can execute quickly. And the board will have ultimate authority, but executing, I think, is important. Okay, Nick, any new business or any old business you want to report on? We're in the city of Amsterdam today,
So
so,
we pretty well covered what you covered.
okay. Can we help you in any way to continue to be successful on behalf of the land
I was
bank?
very happy that we got the Legacy Cities project finally done.
These pictures are fantastic. I mean, there's some projects in there that look clearly
Is there a way?
like they had a lot of work to do.
To produce a flyer, booklet, pamphlet of some sort
You want me to put a staple on this?
with all of the things that we've done, the before and after, including with the mod, to be able to advertise what we are doing to the people who come in. I mean, because I'm retired at this point, but I used to go into the newsstand across from City Hall, and the comment that I was always getting, what are you guys doing? I don't see anything.
Yeah, sure.
And this is the type of thing that we've now have enough of a history that we can put this out for people who ask that, and you can hand that and say, here's what we've done.
Yeah.
Here's because those pictures are great.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
Joe, we do have a website.
I understand.
So can we put them on the website?
Yeah, but how many people, you can say that, but if somebody's asking you, isn't it much better if somebody comes up to you, knows that you're involved with this, to be able to hand them something and say, here, look. And if you want more, it's on the website too.
So I don't know about how easily I could catalog things going backwards, but that's a great project to have some of our development planning interns work on. But last December, I did put together kind of a visual recap for the board meeting, and I planned to do the same this year. And so if we were to just continue to
upon
make that a habit, then that creates a really
More
nice
awareness.
presentation that someone could give digitally or printed.
I was just gonna say, digital is obviously the way that a lot of people engage, but not everyone. People like paper. One of the things that you could do is we could have some kind of one pager with the QR code. So there's a one pager of, impact that the land bank has. We could probably glossy that up a little bit, but if you hit that QR code, you can do a video flyby of, the last 25 projects that we've done. And that could have a continuum so that if you looked at it 6 months from now, it's got more than it had today. So good suggestion. I like it. I
Thank
like
you.
the
And I know David, he was doing this, was taking pictures, so there are pictures from the past. And we've got some interns, so we can get some volunteers to be able to go through and pick out some good ones to be able to do.
There's nothing wrong with I love.
I have lots of Amsterdam pictures going back to day one.
Great.
Julia Street.
Julia Street, a lot of demos.
That's excellent.
Well, you know, it's funny how we talk about the lack of awareness. The awareness is there, but it's funny because we talk the habitat in the city of Amsterdam is a little behind in regards to the particular project. It is on Matthias, and I'm glad to see it sold. So if we had maybe a little bit more awareness in the community, maybe we would get more volunteers. So how do we do that? I don't know if this board is part of it. I mean, on our side for the city, we probably maybe should consider doing some sort of posting.
Yeah.
In the recorder.
My reaction is that people see some activity going on and they don't know where it's coming from. And that's the thing that I'm trying to be able to get at, is to take credit for what's been going on. I go up and down Eastern Avenue in Schenectady all the time, and the improvements on that are very, very substantial. And I'm wondering how many of the people who do that go up and down know where that came from, know where the pocket park came from.
Probably not. I mean, again,
you understand where I'm coming
I
from
do,
with this
I
type
do,
of
I
thing.
do.
And that gives us the benefit that the folks will know, yes, that there is a group that is doing something for us. And that if we need to know something about it, we can go and ask them about that type of thing. And the same thing is true for Amsterdam.
So I think we make sure we are present in front of our municipal partners. We show up for city council or town board meetings. We kind of invite ourselves, ask to be invited in, and we can update leadership. I think having a leave behind of some sort, some kind of collateral, I think is great. I mean, we've been doing this 10 plus years now. And again, the results show what we've impacted. So, anyone else? Alex, anything?
I'll just add to that, maybe more press release, maybe a social media presence. Because we are in an age where social media is very relevant. People look to social media before they look in their local newspaper. So maybe we can have
Facebook
some type of
posting.
marketing
Yeah.
plan on social media, and it doesn't hurt to do press
Yeah,
release,
digital,
more press
that.
release on everything.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I take a look at the Facebook accounts. We did
I
a
mean,
good
so if
thing
we
for
have
that for the Congress trip.
If we have interns, I think I'd like to see that,
Yeah.
and a little smidge of what we're talking about on paper, but I think hitting socials, press releasing, let's be proud.
Yeah.
Right? We have a lot to be proud of. So-
We were trying for so long to be allowed to do a press release about Congress Street, and
Yeah,
we
they
kept
were
getting
like,
told,
"No,
like, you're
you're
not, don't scoop the governor. That's not good. Don't do that.
I went and saw
We got
her
to
the
blow our
next
horn
day.
once in a while.
I saw her the next day and at an event at the governor's house in Albany, and I let her know how successful I thought it was, and she was like, "Okay, good." If there's nothing else, Mr. DiCaprio,
No, nothing else. Where's this going? To you.
Kathy, Nick, everyone's good.
Goodbye. You got to go.
Let's adjourn. The meeting is adjourned at 5:16.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.